There are several issues with the aggregated classes and main below. Select the correct descriptions of the issues with the code. PQC rules assumed and exactly 7 correct answers. So the best way to go through this type of problem where there's a significant number of issues in the code is to go through step by step and then match it with the choices at the end. So see that IOStream's fine, class A, the members are private. This is a valid default constructor. And now we have our first issue. We have 2 issues, 2 private members, and we need to have all the private members in the production quality member initialization list. So we have our first issue, the overloaded constructor doesn't have all the elements required. And if we look at our choices, we will see that B is one of our choices. So we're going to have a running thing here. B, classes A overloaded constructor does not have all the elements in the member initialization list, so the entire class is not explicitly placed on the data heap. So now we're going to continue. So get A doesn't modify anything, so it can be const. Get B, this method must be const because we want to be able to use that for friend overloaded operators. So let's look and see if we have any choices. Get B is not defined as const, even the method does not change. So now D is one of our choices. So now let's continue. So we have a set A, or changes here, set B, it changes it, but we see that it's made as const. So let's take a look and see if we have a choice here. And set F, set B, unsigned int B, const is defined as const even though the private member is modified. So F is our next big choice here. So we have 3 down, 4 to go. So now we're in class B. See that we had aggregate from class A, that's fine. B has a proper member initialization list. B, here with the overloaded constructor, we see that these are not in the correct order. And we've learned from our understanding of data heaps and void pointers all the way back from lecture 1 and 2 that this allows us to make more efficient. So now let's scroll down and see the overloaded constructor is not in order. So we see that is choice G here. The constructor has private members in the incorrect order. So now let's make G our 4th choice. So now let's continue. Void print values. We have A1.A. Now here's the thing. This is not a friend operator, and we don't pass it by const, and we're trying to access a private member of A without a get method. This is not acceptable. So these 2 here, A1 and B1, are wrong. So let's check to see what that next choice is. So we see that A1.A and B1A attempt to access private members of class A from class B, which violate data hiding rules. So H is our next one. So we have 5 down, 2 to go. Let's keep going. All right, so we get to int main, int argc, and char star star argv. And the first thing we notice is that we're not using argc or argv. We don't do any verification. We learned in class that we are creating memory and then never using it. So that's inefficient. So production quality compilation rules will mark this as a compiler error. And if we see here that J, int main creates argc and argv but never uses them, resulting in excessive memory created. So J is our second to last correct answer. So now let's go and see what we can do. So we have A1, A2, these look fine, B1. So here's our last problem. Remember, we cannot call the default constructor like this. Are all the issues we went over in class? So that is our final issue. sorry, well, say we have J, and then we have L here, and L. So B, D, F, G, H, J, and L are the full correct answers.